Hey everyone, Anthony here from Mike Hoffman and Vending. I got 45 locations across Chicago right now and 79 machines. And the thing most people don't realize is that leads aren't the hardest thing. Closing the deal is. You can knock on 100 doors, send thousands of emails, but if you can't handle objections or close the deal when you're sitting across from a property manager, none of it matters. Today, I'm breaking down the 5 negotiation tactics that I use to close deals. These are the same tactics that took me from 0 to 45 locations in under 2 years. And at the end of this video, you're gonna understand of how to handle the most common objections and to turn a skeptical property manager into your newest partner. Let's get into it. Number 1, never say the word vending. All right, the first tactic isn't even about handling objections. It's about preventing them in the first place. Here's the mistake most people make. They walk into a property manager's office. Hey, I'm vending company X. Or I like to put a vending machine in your building. Second you say vending, you already lost. You know what they're picturing. That old beat up Coke machine in the corner. The one that's never stocked. The one that still takes only quarters. And the one that their current vendor never services. You've immediately put yourself in a box with every bad vending experience they ever had. So here's what to do instead. I've thrown the word vending completely out of my vocabulary. Even though my company is called H&H Vending, I never say it in the pitch. Instead, I position what we do as smart AI markets, modern convenience solutions, a luxury amenity for your residents or even your employees. That reframes the whole entire conversation. Now I'm not just a vending guy. I'm the guy that's bringing them a high-tech amenity and is making their building more attractive. Here's my actual talk track when I walk in. Hi, I work with a company that provides smart AI markets. We install modern convenience solutions as an amenity for your building. Is this something that you'd be open to learning more about? Did you notice what I did not say? I did not say vending and I did not say machine. I position it as an amenity of something that adds value. Why this works. Property managers care about one thing above everything else, making their building more attractive to residents and tenants. When you pitch an amenity, you're speaking their language. You're talking about something that helps them, not something that you're trying to sell to them. The conversation starts from a completely different place. Instead of thinking another vending guy, they're like, this could actually help my building. 2, lead with value, not revenue share. This one is huge and this is where most people blow it. Here's the mistake. People think property managers want money, so they lead with the revenue share. Hey, I'll give you 10% of everything this machine makes. Here's the problem with that. You just made that conversation about money, and now they're gonna negotiate for more money. Well, the last vendor gave us 15%. So can you do 20? You shot yourself in the foot before you even started. So here's how I lead the conversation instead. I focus entirely on value and convenience to them. I make it crystal clear that this is a zero cost, zero work amenity for them. Here's my talk tactic. This is completely no cost to you. We provide the equipment, we stock it, and we maintain it. If anything goes wrong, we handle it. Your staff doesn't have to lift a finger. You just get to offer this amenity to your residents. I don't even mention revenue share unless they ask. Now, if they do ask about revenue share, here's how I handle it. I don't say no and I don't get defensive. I use it as leverage. Absolutely, we can do revenue share. I view this as a partnership. Here's how we typically structure that. We offer revenue share to properties that refer us to other sister properties. So if you could introduce me to 2 or 3 other property managers, we'd be happy to include revenue share in our agreement. Now I've turned this ask into an opportunity to scale. 1 location becomes 3 or 4, and the revenue is offset by additional value. Tactic number 3, most common objection that you're probably gonna hear. The objection sounds like this. We already have a vending machine, we already have a vendor, we're all set, thanks. Most people hear this and say, thanks, and leave. That is a mistake because the objection is actually an opportunity. Here's why. If they have a machine, that means they've already said yes to the concept. They already believe in having the amenity. You don't have to sell them on the idea. You just have to sell them on switching to you. So here's how I handle it. First, I ask questions to understand their current situation. Oh, great. So you already see the value in having this amenity. How's that working out? Is the vending machine going to stock regularly? Does the machine accept credit cards and Apple Pay? Are your residents happy with the selections? 9 times out of 10, this is what you'll hear. Actually, the machine hasn't been stocked in a couple of weeks. The vendor never returns our calls. Residents complain about it all the time. It's always broken and it takes cash. Bingo. Now you have the ammunition. Here's my follow-up. That's actually pretty common with traditional vendors. Here's how we're different. Our machines have smart technology, credit cards, Apple Pay, Google Pay. We monitor inventory remotely, so we stock before things run out. I personally respond to property managers' texts and emails same day. And our machines actually look pretty good. They're an amenity, not an eyesore. Would you be open to see what a modern setup looks like? I can show you photos of the one that I just installed down the street. The key here is you're not bashing their current vendor. You're just highlighting the difference and letting them come to their own conclusion. Most of the time, they're already frustrated. They just need someone to show them that there's a better option. Tactic number 4. This one comes up all the time and older buildings and ones with tighter locations. The objections sound like this: we really don't have room for a machine here. Our lobby's too small, there's nowhere to put it. Again, most people would be like, thanks, but here's the thing. Space is rarely actually the problem. It's a perception problem. How I handle this is, first, I acknowledge their concern. I totally understand that space is always a consideration. Then I pivot to show them options. It's actually why I brought my tape measure here today. Would you mind showing me the area of what you're thinking of? Let me show you some of the compact solutions that I have. Here's what I do next. I pull out my phone and I show them photos of the machine in similar type spaces. Here's one that we installed in a building that just looks like yours. This machine is only 30 inches wide. It fits in a corner, against the wall, in a nook. Then I physically measure the space with them. Let's see, the spot here is 30 inches. Our compact machine would fit perfectly right in this spot. And look how clean it would look. Why this works: you have taken a vague objection and you turned it into a concrete, solvable problem. Most property managers haven't actually measured. They just assume it won't fit. And then you show them the specs and the photos. Suddenly, it's not a problem. Pro tip: bring your tape measure to every single meeting. Always have the photos of the different machine sizes on your phone. Be ready to solve this problem on the spot. The property managers that said we don't have space is now looking at a photo of a machine that fits perfectly and visualizing it in their building. All right, tactic number 5. This is about closing the deal when you have handled the objection. Here's the problem: you've had a great conversation, seem interested, then they say, let me think about it, or send me some information and we'll circle back. And then what happens? Nothing. They get busy. Forget about you. If you follow up 3 times and you never hear back, the deal completely dies. How do you create urgency without being that pushy salesperson? And here's what I've learned. These property and operational managers, they're putting out fires all day. Vending is not a priority to them. You need to be the vendor to make their life easy. The way you do this is being professional and persistent and setting clear expectations from that very first meeting. Here's exactly what I say at the end of every meeting. I'm going to get you my proposal over in the next 24 hours. Please go ahead and review it. If you have any questions about anything, reach out to me and I'll promise I'll get back to you right away. Can we schedule a follow-up call on Thursday to go over this together? Why this works: you set a clear timeline. They now know what to exactly expect from you, and you've already scheduled the next conversation. You're not leaving it open-ended. You're not saying, let me know what you think. You created a structure that moves the deal forward. Here's the other piece. These property managers are used to vendors that just disappear. They get a quote and then they don't hear back from them in 2 weeks. Or they have a question and they can't get anybody on the phone. When you tell them you'll give them a proposal within 24 hours and you actually deliver it in 24 hours, and you've already separated yourself from every other vendor that they've dealt with. I cannot stress this enough. Speed and responsiveness are your secret weapon. When they email you, respond that day. When they have a question, answer that immediately. When you say you'll send something, send it faster than when they expect it. That builds trust, it builds confidence, and it makes them want to work with you. And here's the final piece. Always leave with clear next steps. Never end a meeting without knowing what happens next. I'll send the proposal today. What day works for a quick review call? You're guiding the process. You're making it easy for them to say yes. You're not leaving anything up to chance. Look, negotiation isn't about tricks or manipulation. It's about understanding what the other person actually wants, and it's showing them how you can deliver. Property managers want happy residents, zero hassle, and vendors that actually show up. That's it. And when you communicate that clearly, objections disappear. If you want to find and learn about how we close locations, click on the link. It's in the description for Vendingpreneurs. It's the same community that gave me the leads, scripts, and the support to build the business. This is Anthony from Mike Hoffman and Vendingpreneurs. See you guys on the next one.